dads.
He got it wrong. It's the Parliament of Papa.
Yeah, well, we don't have those sound bites. We're not going to have that sound bite for like a year.
Yeah, we got to get the logo knocked out first. I did talk to Diva a little bit. It's like, look, after Dragon Con, we got to get serious about the new logo, and then we'll get the new openings, everything done. So I brought this one to the table. I saw a news story this morning, and I sent it over to Joe, not to Phil. I sent it over to Joe, and so I want to talk about this tonight. But we know about One Piece, right? There's running joke is like there's 1,200 episodes.
One Piece of what?
One Piece is an anime that adults watch, Phil. There's a live action version on Netflix too with
is that like
cool actor in it.
Is that like the pony show that all those guys like?
Yes, it's
Charles is
by
a
the red
brony.
hat guy that you like, Wes Smasherton or whatever.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Kojo Anderson.
Continue, children.
We need some fans to
I'll be back in 15 minutes, y'all.
Draw Charles as a My Little Pony character.
Nope, we're good.
Oh, you know what? Well, real quick, Joe. At Dragon Con, there's an artist alley, and everybody does commissions. So
I just need to take a picture of Charles and go have them draw it for me.
Yeah, the show is not paying for that. I got a 50% vote. The show is not paying for that. So what the big holdup on One Piece is? It's like 1,200 episodes. It's an insane amount of episodes, right? And yeah, you can watch the live action TV show. It wasn't really for me, but apparently pacing is bad. And Phil, I think you'd be interested in this topic here. Netflix is actually doing the One Piece, which is reshooting, re-recording. And Joe, I'm sure you can stop it, random kid. No, Joe, I'm sure you can actually fill in some details here, but it is redoing the anime, fixing some pacing, but it's not like rebooting it, right? It's not like starting over as the One Piece, is it?
Well,
I don't know.
So here's the thing. This is not the first time that they've done this, because there was such a strong negative response against the season 4 of Arrested Development that they made, because they couldn't get the whole cast there together at once. So they did a lot of over-the-shoulder shots, right, with fill-in people, and it kind of flopped pretty hard. So what they did was, in about a year after it came out, they came in and reshot a lot of things with the full team there, and then just re-released it as the same show under the same season. And from what I hear, it's fixed now, but I just can't go back to it.
Well, and this is similar because it's same concept, but different in the fact that these are already been done. They've been done for a long time, and they don't want new fans to get turned off by the issues that, I mean, it's overwhelming. 1,200 plus episodes. I keep changing the number. I know it's over 1,000. What, Joe?
So this isn't the first time that they've redone an anime. Granted, none have been to this scale where there's thousands of episodes, or they're over 1,000 episodes, because there's not thousands. They haven't hit that mark. For instance, Hunter x Hunter, they redid that series, and they're talking about, it's been years, I think over a decade since.
You mean Spy Hunter, where you drive the car and you drop the oil behind you?
No.
Hunter x
Hunter, they did a reboot, and from everything I've heard, I've never actually watched the original. I've only watched the remake, and I've watched it a couple of times. From everything I've heard, people love the remake. Fullmetal Alchemist, they redid it. Granted, the first one, Fullmetal Alchemist, they went off and did their own thing because they caught up to the source material and wanted to keep going. So they made up their own ending. Whereas Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, again, is considered the superior of the two, and it was more true to the source material because by that time it had been redone. And what's nice about that one is they got a lot of the original voice actors to come back for it. I don't know if they did that with Hunter x Hunter. This
is kind of a reboot. The news story that it came across TikTok, of course, there's somebody talking about it, but it made it sound more like a re-edit than a reboot. But reading this little blip from Collider, they're calling it a remake, and the remake aims to be different from the original anime and will be released on Netflix but it is done by Wit Studio and will cover the adventures captured in Oda's original manga from the very beginning. So I guess it is a remake, even though it was originally kind of poised as not. And I'm like, I wonder what other shows, and if it should be done. Should we take, how often have we liked, I love Quantum Leap. I've tried to go back and watch the originals. The pacing is very of its time. A little bit slow. It could be punchier. It could be a little bit, you could cut out 5 minutes of each episode and make it a little bit better. But should they? Would I watch an original Quantum Leap as it was filmed, just edited and maybe remastered?
Well, here's the deal. Like, oh gosh, it's I wonder if they're doing this now because, like I said, it's not the first time that they've done this, that they're kind of taking a book out of gaming companies' playbook, right? Or a play out of their playbook where it's like, hey, look, let's just release it and fix it later, right? Let's just get it out the door. It's already late. It's already over budget. It's already been delayed. Let's just get it out there. Let's take our licks and then we can fix it, over the year to get it right. Because I hate, there's a meme, right? I don't watch anime, but there's always that meme that like, as soon as Netflix gets a hold of the IP for live action, it's going to be bad, right? So like, why are they not using the money and the budget that they have for these reshoots and just hiring somebody on set that knows the material? So you don't have to do this, right? And have to have these reshots, right? Have somebody from the original writing team be consultant on your program so that you know that the writing is up to snuff, or geez, even have, I don't know, test markets of the actual fans that consume the IP and see what they think about the product that will be consumed by them.
Well, I think a lot of that, especially when it comes to TV shows, boils down to how they're produced, because a lot of times they're not even done writing the season until they're already on it. And which is a shame. I know that, like, for instance, I've been listening to a lot of stuff from Brandon Sanderson lately, and he talked about the Wheel of Time series, because he saw he had very little influence, to be honest, but he did have some discussions and see what was going on behind the scenes. And he talked about how during that process, it really opened up his eyes, how a lot of times the script for the next episode wasn't even ready while they were shooting the previous episode. And so
that's fairly standard TV making.
It is. And that's why a lot of TV has
Not
issues,
great.
in my opinion. Whereas you can definitely tell where they've actually plotted it out and know where things are going to go, and it makes for a much better cohesive story. Like, for instance, Avatar: The Last Airbender. Those original three seasons, they knew exactly where they wanted that to go. Whereas The Legend of Korra, while it's still pretty good, they didn't know if they were going to get how many seasons they were going to get. And so they wrote it season by season, and it's very evident that it's not as cohesive of a story as the original series. So, yeah.
Lost, the TV show, right? It
should have ended after one season.
It had a very...
That's Heroes.
It actually should have ended. Yeah, I'm with Phil. That's the Heroes suffered from the writer's strike. But Lost had a very specific arc in mind that was 3 seasons, and after the first season went gangbusters, the money men started saying, no, we got to stretch it out, and it suffered. It went all over the place, and it did all right. I still watched. I still enjoyed some of what they did, but there's something
watched the first 2 seasons. So,
there's a show that you won't like, Joe, but Phil, you would love, called Fleabag, and I cannot remember the name of the actress, the comedic actress who does it, who wrote it and starred in it. She was in the newest Indiana Jones as the female lead. I'm not saying the newest Indiana Jones was good. She's good. But she did 2 seasons of it, and that was it, because the story was done. and it was critically acclaimed and awarded almost every step of the way. And it's because she basically knew what she wanted to do, got somebody to believe in her and say, okay, we'll just do that. Helps that it's UK TV and not US TV, because US TV would be like, we have to have money, throw more money at it.
Well, and that's also part of the issue, and that's why projects are getting rushed out, because every streaming service is wanting to have the next hot thing and just pumping out literally the next hot thing, but in the different direction, right? So it's just like, so sure. So I don't know, man, like, because you're seeing, even Disney, they're pumping out a lot of Star Wars and Marvel TV shows, right? And like, people are like, no, we're good. We kind of need a break. And I keep coming out with them and they keep getting canceled after a few seasons. So it's just like, I was hoping that maybe the writers' strike and actor strike that we just had and maybe COVID would kind of slow everything back down. But it seems like it's just ramping right back up again. So, man, I don't know. And to be honest with you, I couldn't tell you, like, other than Fallout, which is already a written IP, like, I couldn't tell you another show that I've actually watched recently that I've been like, yeah, that was dope. That was great.
Would Last of Us count as recent?
Didn't watch it. I don't have HBO.
Okay. All right. Yeah, okay. Fair enough. But that is that to me, that was, I didn't watch Fallout, even though I do have Amazon, I think is what it's on.
I think it's on Prime.
It's on Prime.
Yeah. I have access to that, but yeah, Last of Us is probably one of the last great.
And Fallout works because you're writing a story in a universe, right? You're not following a storyline that's already been gone through.
Which is why I think The Mandalorian worked until it got to season 2.
Until it didn't.
Until season 2.
Until they started adding in Yoda and Luke Skywalker. Let's get that crap out of my house. We had a good story. Why?
I don't know.
I mean, it felt like somebody said, let's make Star Wars great again, and it went really bad.
Yeah, it's kind of what happens with that slogan.
Yeah.